Crisis erupts at the People's Democratic Party's national headquarters. Wadada House in Abuja has two factions are locked in a face-off. As the Chief of Army Staff directs troops of Operation Fansanyama to intensify efforts in securing release of students abducted from Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, Maga, in Kebbi State. Good afternoon. Welcome to Panorama on the network service of the NTA. I am Ogoch Kuka. Honor. The Abdurrahman Mohammed-led faction of the People's Democratic Party has taken over the Wadata Plaza national headquarters of the party ahead of its 103rd Board of Trustees and National Executive Committee meeting. Timothy Yusuf reports that the PDP headquarters and its environs is already taken over by security agents. National Secretary of the faction, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, said the presence of security personnel is to prevent breakdown of law and order. Meanwhile, the Kabiru Turaki-led NWC is yet to arrive the Secretariat for its own meeting as at the time of this report. The governors of Bauchi and Oyo State, Senator Bala Mohammed and Sheyi Makinde at PDP Secretariat, mixed with stiff resistance. The FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is also at the PDP Secretariat, and the situation there is that of chaos, with two factions laying claim to the Secretariat. All right, we'll be establishing contact with Timothy Yusuf for more on that, but as soon as we get him, we'll get back to Wadata Plaza. Now, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu, has directed troops of Operation Fansanyama to intensify efforts in securing the release of students abducted from Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, Maga, Kebbi State. In a statement by the Information Officer, Operation Fansanyama, Captain Yama David Adewusi, says the Chief of Army Staff issued the directive during an operational tour to the state addressing frontline commanders and troops. General Shaibu charged them to conduct intelligence-driven operations and maintain relentless day and night pursuits of the abductors and engage local vigilantes and hunters, describing them as critical partners in the operation. He urged them to leverage their knowledge of the terrain in collaboration with troops to locate and eliminate the criminal elements. Technical committee members of the National Council on Health have been urged to approach their task with diligence, professionalism and shared sense of purpose ahead of deliberations by the Council. This was at the ongoing technical session of the 66th regular meeting of the National Council on Health in Calabar. Paul Abel was there and completes the report.
National Council on Health NCH is the highest policy formulation body of health stakeholders in Nigeria, comprising the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Commissioners for Health in all 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT Abuja and other health agencies. On the other hand, the Technical Committee and Session represents the engine room of the NCH, where ideas are interrogated, evidence weighed, and recommendations are made for consideration of Council, with permanent secretaries of health from the states across the nation present, including directors and other health stakeholders. The chairman of the Technical Committee and permanent secretary, Federal Ministry of Health, and the host Commissioner for Health, Cross River State, who declared the session open, affirmed that the theme, "My Health, My Right," is apt, as deliberations should be tailored towards making health care available for all Nigerians.
This theme is both timely and compelling, as it challenges us to put the Nigerian citizen at the center of every decision decision we make, ensuring that policies, plans, and programs truly advance universal health coverage.
We are proposed to make health care available to all Nigerians, where the rich and the poor can get equal health.
Core of the activities at the technical session include a review of previous proceedings and implementation status, presentation of memoranda in various groups, and recommendation for council deliberation and approval. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Purposeful leadership at all levels of governance with morality and fear of God is the panacea for the leadership question in Nigeria and by extension the African continent. This formed the opinion of speakers at the 6th Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe Annual Award Lecture held in Abuja, where they called on Nigeria to lead the crusade of Africa rebirth. Chukunonso Mwabweze reports.
For the past 5 years, through the Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe Annual Award Lecture platform, patriotic Nigerians as well as friends of the nation converge every 16th November to reflect on the legacies of the Pan-Africanist and one of the founding fathers of the nation. This 2025 edition yet again provides another opportunity for the reinforcement of ZIG's ideology of nationalism, patriotism and unity to further deepen democratic principles and good governance in Nigeria and on the African continent.
We need leaders with correct and sound principles of personal character who can lead people with unfamiliar, very disciplined but desirable and harsh policies and programs.
Today we have the 2063 agenda. If Azikiwe were alive, he would have been its author. The very notion of the Africa we want.
As we reflect on the legacies of ZIG, let us be reminded that history does not remember us by the title we bear or the speeches we deliver, but by the value we upheld and the institution we build.
I pray that we bring up youths now that will copy the lives and times of those founding fathers so that Nigeria will move forward.
Some Nigerians, including the Minister of State Finance, Doris Uzoka Anite, were recognized for their outstanding contributions to nation building, while the former Prime Minister, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Sir Ahmadu Bello, Ladoke Akintola, as well as former Nigeria's First Lady, Mariam Babangida, were honored posthumously.
Today's honor strengthens my resolve to continue working for a Nigeria that is fiscally strong, economically competitive, and socially inclusive.
Let us be united behind our leader, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, so that with unity we can move this country forward.
If we work together, if we are together, nothing, no difficulties, no challenges will bring us down.
This 6th edition, which marks the 121st posthumous birthday of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, has the power of Pan-African unity, strengthening Nigeria's role in African integration and development as its theme.
All right, we are expecting live footages from Wadata Plaza as we link up with Timothy Yusuf, who is ready now to give us an update on what's happening there. Can we get Timothy now? At the headquarters of the People's Democratic Party.
The two factions, that is talking about the Nimu Turaki-led faction of the NWC and of the Abdurrahman Mohammed-led NWC, both factions of the party scheduled their meetings for the Wadata Plaza National Secretariat of the party. For the Abdurrahman Mohammed-led faction, they scheduled 2 meetings. That is talking about their own Board of Trustees meeting and then to be followed by the National Executive Committee meeting later at 2 p.m. today. Then the Kabiru Tanimu Turaki faction scheduled their own inaugural National Working Committee with some of their political party leaders at 11 a.m. here. But then the Abuja Mohammed-led faction took over the secretariat as early as 10 a.m., went straight to the NEC hall to have their own meeting. Afterwards, the Tanimu Turaki-led faction came in company of the governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Mohammed, and his Oyo State counterpart, Sheyi Makinde, along with other party stakeholders, but they were met with stiff resistance. Initially, they had access into the NEC hall, but then it was chaos there, and later they had to come outside to address the media. As we talk, they are still within the premises of the party secretariat, but had no access into any of the halls. The minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, also later joined. He proceeded straight to the NEC hall, where his own, the factions loyal to him are having their own meeting. This is the situation here at the moment.
All right, so you're confirming that there is no breakdown of law and order as you speak?
Hello?
Are you confirming that as we speak, there is no breakdown of law and order there?
Except for shooting of canisters, tear gas, and all of that, for now there is no recorded breakdown of law and order. Except each time the situation becomes rowdy, they throw tear gas to disperse a crowd. But for now, the situation is calm at the moment.
All right, thank you, our correspondent, political correspondent, Timothy Yusuf, there at Wadata Plaza. Thank you for the updates, and we'll keep getting across to you for more as the day progresses. All right, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has called on government agencies, the civil society, parents and other stakeholders to work together towards creating a protective environment where children can feel safe to thrive. In a message marking 2025 World Day for the Prevention of and Healing from Child Sexual Exploitation, Abuse and Violence, with the theme, Strengthening the Protection of Children Against Sexual Exploitation and Sexual Abuse through Evidence-Based Policy Making. The First Lady says the theme is a reminder that protecting children and ensuring that they grow up free from fear and harm goes beyond words and good intentions, but demands informed action guided by accurate data, research, and sound policies. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has convicted and sentenced the suspended Dean of the Faculty of Law, University of Calabar, UNICAL, Professor Cyril Ndifong, to 5 years imprisonment for sexually harassing his female students. The trial judge, Justice James Omotosho, found the university done guilty on 2 out of a 4-count charge. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, preferred against him. However, the court discharged and acquitted his co-defendant and lawyer, Sonny Anyanwu, who was accused of attempting to pervert the course of justice in the matter. The court was of the view that the evidence the prosecution adduced before it did not nail the second defendant to the commission of any offense. While Justice Omotosho sentenced Professor Ndifong to 2 years in prison in one of the counts of the charge that was sustained by the court, he was handed a 5-year jail term on another count. The court held that both sentences would run concurrently. The ICPC had alleged that Ndifong, while serving as the Dean of the Faculty of Law at UNICAL, harassed his female students by demanding explicit photos from them. The Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy has announced the immediate suspension of all enforcement activities carried out by the National Institute of Hospitality and Tourism, NIHOTO, across the country. In a statement by the Special Assistant to the Minister, Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy on Media and Publicity, NECA, and Ibeze. This decision, approved by the Minister Hannatu Musawa, follows a comprehensive review of recent enforcement operations by Naihoto and growing concerns expressed by stakeholders within the hospitality and tourism sectors. According to the Minister, the suspension is necessary to restore order, protect the rights of operators, and ensure that regulatory activities are conducted within the limits of the law and in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The suspension includes, and not limited to, field inspections and compliance, raids, demand notices, fines and regulatory sanctions, licensing or registration enforcement, any activity by Naihoto officials involving police or third-party security operatives. The ministry emphasized that it remains the supervising authority over Naihoto as established by law and reinforced by the Institute's gazetted operational mandate. The federal government assures stakeholders that every regulatory action going forward will be grounded in law, professionalism, and industry-wide consultation. A multi-stakeholder engagement will be convened to clarify grey areas in the Naihoto Establishment Act and prevent future disruptions. You're watching Panorama. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, FCT chapter has rolled out activities marking the 35th anniversary from 25 to 27 November to give back to society. Haman Jabani reports that the theme of the celebration is Leadership for Inclusive Development and National Branding.
Giving back to society is most impactful when it addresses both immediate community needs and long-term development. Through collective efforts, giving back becomes not just an act of charity, but a sustained investment in national growth, human capital development, and a more inclusive, innovative society. This is why the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR FCT chapter, is commencing the anniversary celebrations with the tree planting exercise aimed at promoting environmental sustainability and reinforcing the Institute's commitment to climate responsibility. Donate PR books to the National Assembly Library, an important contribution to knowledge sharing and professional development within Nigeria's legislative environment.
We'll be going to the University of Abuja, where other universities are going to link up with us, and we're going to have a session with the students, with the undergraduates, particularly those of the communications department and others.
This 35th anniversary is more than a celebration. It is a recommitment to excellence, service, and nation building.
Everybody has a role to play. It's a collective responsibility, and that's what this 35th anniversary is driving. That together we can build a more resilient society, a better perception of who we are, and going forward, a better Nigeria for everyone.
The conference will bring together experts and stakeholders to discuss emerging trends shaping the communication landscape, while the dinner and award ceremony will celebrate excellence. Haman Jabani, NTA News.
The criminal justice system in Nigeria needs a serious overhauling to meet the aspirations of the people. Stakeholders in the sector made the advocacy at the ongoing 7th Annual Criminal Law Review Conference of the Rule of Law Development Foundation in Abuja. Dele Atumbi reports.
The criminal justice system determines a lot of things in a country. A country where criminal justice system is predictable and upholds the rule of law attracts foreign direct investment. Participants are of the view that the criminal justice system earnestly needs the correctional institutions, sane and secure space for the teeming masses to enjoy the benefits of the social contract existing between the people and the state. The development is to put in check persons who are prone to disrupt the peace, order and sanity of the same society.
As a matter of necessity, the Foundation routinely considers the state of the existing laws governing the powers and functions of all relevant criminal justice institutions such as the Nigerian police and all law enforcement agencies operating in Nigeria.
When you go there, you will see a visible difference. And I can tell you, thousands are being trained as we speak within the little resources.
It is only through the steadfast application and respect for the rule of law that Nigeria can achieve sustainable peace, security, and development.
The Rule of Law Foundation has created a niche that is quite unique to it as a non-governmental organization intervening in public space when there is absence of such intellectual interventions.
The conference is with the team Funding Justice in Nigeria, quantifying and assessing the criminal justice sector budget and its impact on the administration of justice in Nigeria. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has expressed deep grief over the passing of Chief Dan Agbese, a veteran journalist, prose stylist, author, and co-founder of Newswatch Weekly magazine. Agbese, who was the Awant Oton of Agila Town in Ado local government area of Benue State, died on Monday at the age of 81 in Lagos. In a statement signed by Bayo Ononuga, special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, President Tinubu described Agbese's death as a profound loss to Nigeria's media industry and the country as a whole. The president noted that Agbese, alongside his colleagues at Newswatch, helped pioneer a new era of investigative and interpretative journalism in Nigeria, transforming media practice and setting standards for ethical and courageous reporting. President Tinubu said Agbese's legacy will be remembered for shaping public opinion, strengthening democratic discourse, and inspiring a generation of media practitioners. He joins his family, the media community, and the nation in mourning, praying that Agbese's legacy continues to guide the noble calling of journalism in Nigeria. All right, our next is Sports Update.
Nigeria's international Patience Okon-George has successfully qualified for the women's 400 meters final at the ongoing Islamic Solidarity Games in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The three-time national champion and two-time African Championship medalist secured her place by finishing second in the semi-finals with a time of 52.91 seconds. She was outpaced by Sarwa Nazal of Bahrain, who won the heat in 52.13 seconds. The women's 400 meters final is scheduled for Tuesday evening with Okon-George aiming to bring home the gold medal for Nigeria. In golf, Nigeria and Uganda again rekindled rivalry at the 50th Ikoyi Ladies Open Golf Tournament that had 11 African countries and participants from other continents in attendance. At the end of hostilities, Peace Kabasweka from Uganda retained the title with 232 total points over 3 days to push her compatriot Gloria Mbaguta to the second position. Nigeria's international Diana Osmond was third.
Awesome. There's been fun because we have infused into the game biodiversity and sustainability initiatives.
In tennis, with the WTA season ending this week, momentum is geared towards who wins the WTA Player of the Year awards. For now, Arana Sablenka, Iga Swiatek, and Amanda Anisimova are leading the pack of the top 10 players for the award. Swiatek was the first Polish player, man or woman, to win Wimbledon. Sablenka was world number 1 from the start of the season until the end. Amanda has reached 2 Grand Slam finals. Coco Gauff and Madison Keys are also nominated after winning French and Australian Open. With Sports Update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
And that's Panorama today. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of our programs. Good afternoon.